A game. What a game. It was a scrappy game, very physical game in the first half by both teams, going by the bunch of yellows. The referee, Infantino, was not playing around. Um, was really, really, really impressed by Chelsea. As a Chelsea fan, I am proud of these boys. I am so impressed. They showed great character. They showed their hearts. They showed how much they were willing to play for this badge, how much they were not willing to just let Arsenal walk over them. Overall, it wasn't a great defensive performance by Chelsea. I am so happy and so proud of these guys, man. Shout out to the Chelsea guys. Shout out to Rhys James. Shout out to Sanchez. Shout out to Chalo Ball. Like, I think everybody was solid. Malo Gusto making those amazing tackles, winning the ball over, stopping Madueke, stopping, Lewis Kelly, Calafiori from roaming up that flank. Shout out to Cucurella, man. I think Cucurella did a solid job on Saka. I think man, Rhys James, man of the match. Fofana, amazing, beautiful clearances. Sanchez, Robo Sanchez, no bozo moment. Was one bozo moment, but he was amazing overall, man. Like, if Sanchez wins game of the match, I am fine with that. Personally, I think Rhys James deserve to have that. I think Rhys James deserve to be man of the match. Um, but I think like this is the right game for fans to finally appreciate Sanchez and to finally appreciate just how good this Chelsea team can be. I think this game put Chelsea on the map for fans who doesn't watch Chelsea like that, who keep using previous months to criticize this current Chelsea team. You can't criticize this current Chelsea team based on past performances. You have to criticize them on current performances. And this game showed that Chelsea is legit. This game showed that Chelsea can compete. What's going on, guys? I'm Black Ralphie, here to talk about Chelsea versus Arsenal. And I will say it was a very good game, in my opinion. I think first half was very amazing. I think second half was more of Arsenal and a little bit of Chelsea, and yet Chelsea taking the few chances that they had and also dominating possession in the second half and trying to score a winning goal or to capitalize on a 10-man Chelsea, and the fact that they failed to do it shows that Arsenal got. I think Arsenal's gonna walk away with their head held down. They're gonna walk away with the biggest disappointment that they could not capitalize on a 10-man Chelsea team. And I think this game is going to be all about Chelsea being impressive, holding down this Arsenal team that is so versatile, that have the squad depth, that have the quality on the bench to bring in fresh legs and run at this Chelsea team. Let's keep in mind, Arsenal had four subs. Arsenal made four subs. Chelsea had only two. And that was partly because of Caicedo coming off. And I will get to Caicedo with a tackle, but I do want to go back to the beginning of the game and talk about how we got to where Caicedo is at and how we got to the full 90 minutes of the game. Chelsea came out with a 4-2-3-1. Arsenal also came out with a 4-2-3-1. The expected lineup that I saw is what I expected of Chelsea, and the expected lineup of what I saw from Arsenal is what I saw from Arsenal as well. I will say I thought Trossard was gonna start this game. I heard that he was a little bit okay, but I guess not. Instead, it was mostly Martinelli that started, and I think this was his first start in so many games by Arsenal, and he had a quiet game as well. Like most of Arsenal players had a quiet game. I think Declan Rice had a quiet game. I think Chelsea was the one who was a lot more loud, who bossed the game. The game started out very physical. I'm not gonna lie. Four yellow cards in about 15 minutes was crazy. Cucurella had a yellow card in the first 15. Zubimendi had a yellow. Mosquera had a yellow. And Capie had a yellow. And I think Calafiori also had a yellow. It was about four cards. And I was like, yo, this ref is not playing, y'all. This ref is not playing because this game was very physical, and I did appreciate the physicality of from both teams, from both from these players trying to be physical, trying to control the game because that's how it is, right? Chelsea was pressing, Arsenal was pressing, little bumping here and there. I think as a Chelsea fan, I will admit I think Chelsea was a little bit too much overly aggressive. I think Chelsea was overly aggressive. I think there were zones where like Cucurella and Caicedo didn't have to be too physical in trying to bring the man down. Like there was time when Saka was in the center of the pitch and Cucurella was being overly aggressive. I'm like, there's nothing Saka can do from the halfway line. Saka can shoot. He can only either pass back or pass sideways. He can't even pass forward because Caicedo and Rhys James was right there in the middle of the field. The same thing with Caicedo. I think Caicedo was bumping players around, right? I think he bumped Marino. He bumped Zubimendi a couple times. I was like, Caicedo needs to calm down. He's been a bit too physically aggressive, and like, and what did I expect? It did happen. Prior to Caicedo having a red card, I think there was a chance that Esteval had to shoot. Esteval had a chance that he could have scored. I think there was another opportunity that Joao Pedro also had where Hincapié tried to clear the ball, but he failed to clear the ball and the ball landed and Pedro had the chance the ball. I think he should have shot it. I think he felt like he should have just made that extra pass, but by the time Pedro's thinking about making an extra pass, those Arsenal boys are swarming the box, and now there's nothing. There's no chance to score, or no chance to even shoot at David Raya. Um, then around the 38th minute was when Caicedo got his red card. The ball landed on Merino. Merino had the ball, and by the time Caicedo got to him, Merino had already made that pass. So by the time, and then Caicedo came and he stomped on his shin, right? He stopped on his shin. Marino went down, and I think Caicedo went down as well, holding his knee, thinking that he got injured as well. I think Caicedo knew that he made a reckless tackle, so now he was trying to just playing it up. The brother was playing it up, man. He was playing. He was just acting like he was hurt too. When the replay shows that, brother, you were not hurt, man. That was a reckless foul. And as a Chelsea fan, I will admit that was a reckless foul by Caicedo. And then Anthony Taylor, the ref, gave Caicedo the yellow, and then he went down the field for a VAR check. And when he came back, talking like he was an NFL referee, yep, Caicedo, you get a red card, and there you go. He got a red card, and from then it was 10 men down. Now here's the thing: this is not the first time Chelsea has been 10 men down. Chelsea have had almost, including with this Caicedo red card, Chelsea have about 7 red cards this season. That's a lot. That's something that Enzo Maresca has to walk in. But I feel like Enzo Maresca learned from his previous games from when Chelsea was 10 men down, because from that point onwards, I prior to the red card, I think Chelsea was even bossing the game. I do want to mention that as well. I think Chelsea was bossing the game. We were in control of the midfield. We had more shots on target, more shots at least, more shots attempt than Arsenal. And then second half came, Esteval came off, and Garnacho came on. I feel like we decided to just, play back and just hit them on the counter. And I think Garnacho has the walk rate and has a walk rate to track back and sprint forward as well, a lot more than Esteval. Seeing how Esteval was young, and I have to say, amazing by Chalobah. Amazing by Chalobah. Chelsea scored from a set piece. I was not expecting Chelsea to score from a set piece, bro. 48th minute, Chalobah went in, just had the ball in, and that was amazing by Chalobah. I was roaring like a lion. I was so excited by Chalobah scoring that goal, and I was like, this is good. because we know that Arsenal is gonna come. Arsenal is gonna attack, 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 and attack. We knew that. So even if Arsenal score, it's still gonna be 1-1 as long as they don't score a winning goal, a game winning goal. We are good, and that's what happened, right? Almost 10 minutes later, Bukayo Saka scored, made a lovely cross. I'll be honest, that was a nice pass, a nice cross by Saka, and then Marino headed the ball in. Second goal in the league for Marino. Shout out to him. That was a nice header by Marino and a nice goal by Bukayo Saka. And from then onwards, I will be honest. Despite the subs that Arsenal made, Arsenal didn't do much. Arsenal could not create more chances. They could not make any lethal shot on target. There were a couple shots that was made at Chelsea, and Sanchez was amazing in saving those shots. I think there was a shot that Declan Rice made that Sanchez saved. There was a nice shot by Timber as well that Sanchez also made as well. And I think he was so impressive to me. I think he should be man of the match. If it's not Rhys James, it should be him. Rhys James, everybody was talking about Declan Rice versus Moises Caicedo. And yet, it ended up being Rhys James being the best midfielder in the game, which is crazy to me. All week long we are talking about Caicedo versus Rhys James, and it ended up being Caicedo versus Declan Rice, and it ended up being Rhys James coming out of this game as the best midfielder in this game. Amazing. Shout out to my captain, man. Shout out to Rhys James, bro. He was amazing. He was a baller. So proud of this Chelsea team. Right now, I feel like Chelsea should be proud. A lot of people expected Arsenal to get this win, and yet they didn't even perform that well. Now, granted, they too had a couple injuries going on. They didn't have the best center back pairing in the league, but we didn't have Cole Palmer and Levi Colwill as well, who's one of our best players in the squad. So overall, um, I think Arsenal fans, you guys are glad to walk away with a draw. And Chelsea fans, we are most certainly glad to walk away with a draw. We're 6 points behind Arsenal, and Man City is 5 points behind Arsenal. So either way, we're giving Man City a chance to overtake Arsenal too. So Man City fans, you should be happy as well. The crazy part about this, y'all, is Aston Villa is fourth in the league right now. Aston Villa is tied with Chelsea for third place. People, we got to start paying attention to Aston Villa. They started the season bad, and yet they're in the top four. Damn. Appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe the video if you like, and tell me what you think I should work on more in regard of me being new to this YouTube game, this content creation game. Shout out to you guys, and I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Peace.